Shalom. Allah start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles, and the elders of great millstone, salutations to those for that, just pushing this truth. Across four corners of earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. I'm on the Bible back giving us sitting. On this one going to about, cashless society that's ahead, so I'm getting to it. So cashless society in 2026. By 2026, the global shift towards a cashless society is accelerating, with over 5.2 billion people expected to use digital wallets and annual non-cash transactions projected to reach 2 trillion. India article notes that some countries are already leading this shift. QR codes and mobile payments will dominate, particularly in Asia Pacific, despite increased speeds and convenience. Concerns remain regarding financial exclusion, privacy, and infrastructure stability during power outages. This is where it's heading to. That's a shift towards cashless society is accelerating. Which I say that the paper dollar can be done away with. And excuse me. Paper dollar gonna be done away with, and eventually, like I say, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast is gonna be mandatory. But read some more and say key trends and projections for 2026. It said cash decline. It said while cash usage is declining rapidly, it is usually to disappear completely by 2026. Though it will become less common for everyday transactions, so that's what like I say, that's what's ahead. Like this was coming a cashless society, man. This way of currency, the way this currency is right now set up, the paper dollar, is declining, going down, and people in most countries, I like to say, they shifting towards digital currency. But ultimately, I say this, the RFID chip, is what they really are trying to, these so-called white people, Edomite devils, these are bankers, these elites, that run this world, they pushing for that, for RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, to be mandatory for you to buy and sell. It's privacy, man. It's going to happen. And that's what I said, the Middle Great Millstone. The Middle Great Millstone, they constantly push this, that, hey, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. All these other Israelite camps, they teaching, wrong doctrine about a wrong understanding about the mark of the beast. They're going off about it. But it says Sweden regarding as a leader in transition to cashless society, with most transactions occurring via digital means. So Sweden, if you look up what's going on in Sweden, folks over there, people over there, they already voluntarily taking the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, in their right hand, forehead, whatever, and using it to buy and sell. And now, and then eventually, I say the whole world, eventually is going to be digital, and then the RFID chip is going to be mandatory for you to buy and sell. Let's say U.S. and U.K., while digital payments are growing, a significant portion of the population in these countries still use cash. So you still, U.S. and U.K. still, use cash, but ultimately it's going to be done away with, because like I say, most of the other countries are, are dumping the dollar. They're not, they don't they don't care about the dollar no more like that. The U.S. dollar, it's going down. Like I said, it's declining. And I see it heading to a cashless society in the near future. Especially here in the United States. Let me see. So from there, RFID chip implants for humans are grain of rice seized it bio capability. How about saying that right? Subconscious is transponders, usually place it between the thumb or forefinger. Used it for secure contactless identification. They enable users to unlock doors, start cars, pay for purchases, or store medical data. NFC RFID technology. So which is radio frequency identification. which is, I say it's gonna happen. You see this guy right here, talking about, there was, a YouTube video on July 25th of last year, 2025, showing, putting putting the RFID chip in his hand, which is the mark of the beast. And it's gonna be the way of, the scripture say, you're gonna have to have it to buy and sell, which I'm gonna get it. Let's see. So that's it on that. So I'm gonna get some scriptures to back this up. Didn't want to make this too long. Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh the king of Egypt to all that trust him. So those that you're gonna have people that, let's say modern day Egypt is America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? The modern Pharaoh king, the modern leader, of this bondage. Modern day bondage for the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Israelites. Is on Trump, which he's the president, right? But you're gonna have people, family members, friends that that's gonna take this RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, because they're gonna fully, they're gonna trust in it, in order for them to eat and survive, and because you can have pastors and so forth and different Israelite camps that teach, the RFID chip or something else, and it's not the mark of the beast, which is gonna lead a lot of people, believing in what they saying into taking that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. But the men of the great millstone, the apostles and the elders and the brother great millstone, that had the truth. The apostles and elders of brother great millstone that teach the correct doctrine, through the spiritual power of Yahweh Shai, give you an understanding of what the mark of the beast is. And the men of great millstone constantly push that, RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and warn you not to take it. You take it, you're gonna be destroyed by Lord Yahushua. So but you're gonna have those, in that time will come, the hour of temptation. And those that believe in Lord Yahushua, and me myself first foremost, that believe in this truth of the word Lord Yahushua, it's gonna come a time where, hey, you're gonna have to make a real decision. Is you gonna really trust Lord Yahushua fully, no matter what, that you believe Lord Yahushua gonna deliver, protect you and deliver you, and you're gonna be okay and taken care of. Once that happens, once the RFID chip, which is the mark of beast, be made mandatory, for you to buy and sell, you're gonna trust Lord Yahushua, that you're gonna be, you're gonna have food, you're gonna have, a place to, lay your head and so forth, be taken care of, and when that time comes, because it will come, it will come, but that time will come where, once the RFID chip is made mandatory, you gotta make a decision. And, you're gonna take that chip or you're gonna trust the Lord Yahushua. But I'll go for back. I can go all the way back. So I'll go to Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that's gonna come about. It don't matter if you're rich, poor, free or bond. You're gonna have to take the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Like I say, you already got people out there. They already got it in them. But once it becomes mandatory, the way of buying and selling, you go into these stores or whatever it may be, right? How it goes about. With cash is no longer, you can't purchase. You're going to have that RFID chip. Credit cards, nope. You got to have, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, having it right here on your forehead when that time comes. Verse 17, Revelation 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So no man ain't going to be able to buy or sell unless you have, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. So you're gonna have that, in order to function in the world, in the near future, to function in this world, in this society, So I didn't want to make this too long. I was gonna go into that. Hope they were edified. So again, like about praise and glory to you.